robots are coming, y'all. And when we thought it was just chatbots and simple things like ChatGPT, you see Jeff Bezos, Nvidia, OpenAI, and Microsoft backing a humanoid robot unicorn now valued at $2 billion. The company's Figure AI. It's the first of its kind AI robotics company bringing general purpose humanoids to life. So using everything going on with generative AI, now putting it into robots. And what do these things look like? They look like humans. They're 5'6". They can hold 20 kilograms with payload, 60 kilograms in terms of their weight, 5-hour runtime, 1.2 miles per hour, and the system is all electric. This is kind of rivaling Elon Musk's robots Optimus that he's building right now. But if you check their website, they got their master plan here, their roadmap to a positive future powered by AI. And it's a pretty interesting mission, expanding human capabilities through advanced AI. They're talking about the present where we're seeing unprecedented labor shortages, over 10 million unsafe or undesirable jobs where you could use these humanoids there. That's just the US alone. And then they get into the possibility of the future with these humanoid robots. It gets kind of interesting, a bit sci-fi, futuristic, and crazy all at the same time. But it talks about as automation continues to integrate with human life at scale, we can predict that labor-based economies as we know it will transform. Robots that can think, learn, reason, interact with their environments will eventually be capable of performing tasks better than humans. And today, manual labor compensation is the primary driver of goods and services. It's how we get paid by performing labor, whether it's white-collar, blue-collar labor, whatever it may be. It accounts for 50% of global GDP, which is roughly $42 trillion a year. But here's the interesting thing. As these robots join the workforce, what happens, right? So everywhere from factories to farmlands, the cost of labor will decrease until it becomes the equivalent to the price of renting a robot versus paying a human salary, pay, benefits, all that kind of stuff, facilitating a long-term holistic reduction in costs. So that brings down the cost of labor that companies need to produce things, which brings down the cost of goods, services, whatever they may be. And over time, humans can leave the loop altogether as robots become capable of building other robots, driving prices down even more. It's crazy to think about. This will change our productivity in exciting ways. Manual labor could become optional, and higher production could bring an abundance of affordable goods and services, creating the potential for more wealth for everyone. They say we'll have the chance to create a future with a significantly higher standard of living where people can pursue the lives they want. And they mention we will not place humanoids in military or defense applications, nor any roles that require inflicting harm on humans. Well, they say that, but think of other countries. That's a whole nother element to consider, using these in warfare. And their focus is providing resources for jobs that humans don't want to perform. So think of everything going on with LLMs, ChatGPT, all of that. We think of it as just like a chatbot, and I can't stress this enough. That is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the snowflake on the iceberg. All right, when you start to integrate this into a humanoid robot like this, it's a totally different game. And just the potential just to automate things in general, it is a huge disruptive shift in how we live, work, and just interact as humans. The three major business opportunities they see: physical labor, consumer household, and then off-world space exploration. That's probably why you see Bezos investing in this, right? With what he's doing with space exploration. So let me know in the comments what you think of all this. I think the craziest thing is, how do you make this transition from how we are today to the future where you have these humanoid robots working? And it logically makes sense where it reduces the cost of living, things are cheaper to make. But I think the messy part is this transition from how we work and live and interact today to that future, right? Because we're so used to being paid for working. What happens when that goes away? I think it's going to be very messy in the meantime. How do you disperse that wealth? How does it all work? It's just a completely different way of thinking about a society, our economics, everything. Let me know what you think.